Rogue agents versus the hunters. All of this in Silver Creek. Now, if Silver Creek sounds familiar, it's because of this.
Can't wait to have you join us in Silver Creek.
That's right. We are talking about the Division franchise as a whole because this lore connects all of the games. It's connecting the Division 1, the Division 2, and the Division Heartland. Now, yes, the Division Heartland has been canceled, but all of these collectibles, all of the voice acting, everything was already done prior to that cancellation. So all of these things that are coming out now, it's showing all of the connections and how they were planning on putting all the pieces together in the Division Heartland to not only progress the story in that game, but to also progress the story in our game. So months ago, we had Aaron Keener recruit a Division agent and make that Division agent into a rogue to go into Silver Creek. During those Descent comms, Keener told that rogue agent that the main mission would be Calvin's Hunter. And now, even this week with the Descent comms, we are getting more information not only about Calvin McManus's Hunter, but what Calvin McManus was actually up to. So in today's video, we're going to talk about how all of this is starting to come together, what to expect, and, well, some more Heartland lore. Here we go. What's going on, YouTube? Kamikaze Von Doom here with another Division 2 video. So sit back, relax, grab that popcorn. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. But in today's video, we are going to do a deep dive into the lore of the Division, because all of these storylines are starting to come together, and they're all focusing into the Division Heartland. Now, I understand a lot of people are upset because the Division Heartland was canceled, but they already made all of these things for the game. So we're starting to see them all be released now because they were supposed to be released in this order while we were playing the Division Heartland, which is even more depressing because that means we should have already been playing it by now, and it's been canceled, so everything is kind of up in the air. But with this season, I think they're starting to just wrap up everything that they had going on with that specific development team and franchise focus. Now, remember, with Julian Garrity coming right back into the fold like this coming week, because Star Wars is now being officially launched and everything, he's going to be directly back into the Division franchise. So we're going to start to see a different trend, a different direction for not only this game, but the entire franchise as a whole. Because by this time, we were supposed to have the Division Resurgence, the Division Heartland, and the Division 2 Year 6 DLC all happening right now. So with Resurgence being pushed back, Heartland being canceled, and then everything looking like they're waiting for this new development team to come back to the franchise, it seems we were in this limbo state for this current season. And that applies to these comms. Now, every week, we have this weekly project. It's called your Weekly Descent Project. Now, all you have to do is go into Descent and take out the Nemesis. Every time you do that, they will give you a new collectible. Now, this season, all of the collectibles are building up either storylines for the DLC or storylines to connect to Silver Creek and Heartland. Now, first, let's talk about the rogue agents in Heartland. So to do that, let's just remember what the developer said about rogue agents in Heartland from their own words. So here is the old Division Heartland team talking about rogue agents.
Heartland's a free-to-play survival action shooter set in the Division universe that features streamlined survival gameplay and a beautiful new world to explore, filled with dynamic PvEvP gameplay. In Heartland, you play as a Division agent, given the task of protecting Silver Creek, a small town in Middle America. It's your job to keep the town safe from enemy factions, rogue agents, and a deadly contamination. Heartland explores what happened to small town America when the green poison was unleashed on the world. While major metropolitan centers got aid from agencies like SARA and the Division, what help did the Heartland get? This game ties directly into the timeline and introduces all new characters and storylines to the franchise.
So with that being said, we already knew that rogue agents were going to be in the Division Heartland, right? So what we did not know is how they were being positioned, how they even knew about Silver Creek, and what were they even doing in Silver Creek. So if you go back to your Descent comms, this was actually talked about a few weeks ago with Aaron Keener and Hoskins. All right, so let's see here. So these comms right here. So it starts with this one, with Agent Hoskins. Now, Agent Hoskins was a Shade agent, okay? This is one of our Division agents that Keener corrupted or convinced to become a rogue agent and to work for him in Silver Creek. So here's the beginning of that, just for a refresher.
Have you heard enough?
Yes. For now.
If anyone knows about picking a side and making sacrifices, it's you, Hoskins.
I have no reason to trust you, Keener.
No, you don't have to trust me, but do you trust them? After what they did to us, do you still believe in the noble cause of the Division?
At the end of the day, you're asking me to defect.
Be honest. Is there a reason not to? Be my Ajax, Hoskins.
Ajax committed suicide, Keener.
But before that, he was a hero.
Now, that was the first time we ever heard about Keener recruiting someone, okay? So then in the next one, he's talking about how he has control of her family, basically, that he has eyes and ears all around her family, and that he's going to make sure they're good during this entire, apocalypse or pandemic happening. Next up, we have Chicago, right? This is where he sends Agent Hoskins to Chicago right before going to a small town, okay? And then this is the update that actually mattered. It's called Warzone is the Descent comm. This was from maybe a month and a half ago. Just listen to this good one.
This place is a war zone. I figured it would be bad, everything is, but you could have warned me it would be this bad.
Welcome to a picturesque...
Thanks. Not the small town vacation I was hoping for. There's fighting in the streets, there's a resistance, but they look like shit. Where the fuck is the Division?
You were a good EMT. Remember to ignore the chaos. Cal's Hunter is the mission. Stay alert and expect contact once you get close to the installation.
Boom. Now that is the entire premise of Heartland right there. So what we saw from the developers and their deep dive for Heartland's gameplay was basically we're a Division agent who is going to this small town, right? I believe it was from Boston to Silver Creek. Now, from all of these different comms, it's seeming that Silver Creek is somewhere near Middle America, somewhere near Chicago. It might not be in, the same state as Chicago, but, somewhere close by. So with that being said, we already knew that Keener was sending rogue agents to this small town. He already knew that something was happening, right? Now, this was prior to the Division. Because in the Division Heartland, what's happening is our Division agent goes to Silver Creek, builds up this base of ops, and then helps, clean up Silver Creek or whatever, figures out what's going on and tries to, help out that small town. So what this comm was showing was that Keener knew that Calvin McManus was sending a hunter. He sends in his rogue agents first, even before the Division. The Division then sets up a base of ops, and then Calvin McManus sends in his hunters. So it's starting to all come together because with the Division Heartland, everything was rogue agent heavy. We already knew about rogue agents. The developers were pushing the rogue agents. They knew that once sundown came, the rogue agents would come out. Not only the PvP part, but, Keener's rogue agents for the PvE portion as well. But nothing was mentioned about the hunters until this descent comm where Keener is like, hey, your mission is the hunters. We're focusing on Calvin's hunters. So Keener knows damn well that Calvin's hunter is there with a team and they're doing something, right? So this kind of goes into the last few that Calvin McManus has, and we'll go over them just a second. So here's the next one from Hoskins, okay? Here we go.
Any opposition?
None.
No one was guarding the base?
No. If there are any survivors, they fled.
Did you find what they were looking for?
Isaac did. Echo reconstruction.
Good. What was it?
USB drive. With a roster.
Did you recover the drive?
I wouldn't be calling if I didn't.
Good. Anything else of interest?
Yeah. The way the agents here died. I asked Isaac to do a sweep and status report of any agents and 4 hits came back, all deceased. They were infected with green poison, but that's not what killed them. Team went to a local lab working on the antiviral for DCD before they scattered and died.
You might want to scrub that from the servers.
I don't know how to do that.
Don't worry. Theo can take care of it. What's the lab called?
Now, this descent comm ties in all of the games because the green poison is the Division 1. DCD is the Division 2. And his rogue agents are investigating Silver Creek. So that's the Division Heartland. So this is how it's all tying in together, right? So we're trying to figure out more about this lore. Okay, so we know that the rogue agents are in Silver Creek. We know that the division agents died. We know that we have our division agent going from Boston to Silver Creek to rebuild that base of ops. And then here comes the hunters. Now, that was the last comm we had from the rogue agents in Keener, okay? The next one, we had some comms about, some old rogue agent network stuff, and then we had some comms, about what's going on with the Shade network currently. Nothing really tying in Heartland or the games, okay? Until these last 2 weeks. Now, I already talked about Calvin McManus sending hunters to Heartland last week, but we got a little bit more this week. So let's go ahead and do a recap, and then I'll show you the new stuff. Here we go.
Call me Cal. Time to come out of hibernation, Agent. There's work to do. Drop whatever you're doing right now. Just walk out. I need you to gather a team. Take whoever you think you'll need and go to immediately. Infiltrate the town and set up a forward operating base. You'll receive further instructions once you get to...
All right. Now, the only reason why we know that's a hunter is because you can see in the top right it says activates a hunter. Now, he's saying wake up agent. So he's activating a agent. We don't know if it's a rogue agent or a shade agent, okay? Now, this next part kind of pushes us into, okay, he might have activated a rogue agent to become a hunter. Because check this part out from this week's comm number 64 called Unwilling.
What do you mean the agents are unwilling? You tell this noble squad they don't need to stay in New York to honor their fallen soldiers. Remember, you cannot tell anyone these orders come from me. We need to keep this one close to the vest. You're the only person on the planet who knows about my involvement in this mission. I'm not ready to let this particular cat out of the bag.
And there we have it. Okay, so now let me explain how this all ties in together. So this whole Noble Squad, agents in New York City, unwilling to join his cause, unwilling to leave New York because of their fallen comrades, all of this is Division 1 heavy. Because the whole Noble Squad, Noble Jesters, all of this is all first wave talk. This started with Keener. Keener has been using this terminology a lot. So right here where he says noble, right here, hold on.
You tell this noble squad.
That noble squad, the noble squad is the first wave agents. Those are the agents that they went rogue because all of their fellow comrades were dying and nothing was, there was no upside to it. It was just, hey, we're all coming out here just to die to set this up for you. Nah, screw that. And then they all went rogue, right? Now, another part is where I believe Keener says Noble the exact same terminology to Hoskins. Was it right here?
Yes. For now.
If anyone knows about picking a side and making sacrifices, it's you, Hoskins.
I have no reason to trust you, Keener.
No, you don't have to trust me, but do you trust them? After what they did to us, do you still believe in the noble cause of the division?
Right there. The noble cause of the division. And that's where it's all tying in together. Because that's where the first wave agents, that's their philosophy. They were the noble squad. They were helping out everyone. They were the first wave. And it's looking as if Calvin McManus is trying to convert some of those first wave rogue agents into hunters and then send them to Silver Creek. Now, this is a direct evidence supporting how Keener knew Calvin was doing that, because he's going to the first wave agents in New York, in which worked with Keener. So you're trying to convert some of Keener's guys. They're like, nah, we're not leaving. That's why they're unwilling to leave New York. And then all of a sudden Keener knows about it. He's activating a shade agent to go rogue and go into Silver Creek before Calvin's new hunter and his team shows up. So it's starting all to blend in together, but it's very clear that the rogues and hunters are going against each other. But all right, I'm probably going to run around the DZ, maybe pick up some exotics. We could talk about this a little bit more, but you get the whole premise of it. So if you want to stick around and hear some more thoughts, I mean, I'm basically just spitballing while I run around picking up exotics. But I hope you have a good day. Let me know what you think about all of this. I fully understand that this whole tie-in with Heartland sucks because they canceled it. But just remember that they developed all of this and made all of this prior to that cancellation. So we're just getting all of this information right now because they are building up to that DLC. So we're going to expect that DLC soon. The Descent comms were connecting all of those together. So once these Descent comms ends, that's when we should be expecting the next big push. And that's why I keep reminding people that, yes, things might be a little low right now for the Division 2, but that's because this season is like the calm before the storm. This is the very last season that the post-COVID team took over for year 4, 5, and 6. And this is where the new team going from year 6 and 7 into the Division 3 is starting to blossom. So we're getting all of these little snippets to connect all of these dots. But I'm telling you, after this season, we're really going to see the new direction for this franchise. But all right, everyone, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I am Kamikaze Von Doom. Take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. And if you want to join in on a little bit more discussion, I'll run around the dark zone and we can talk a little bit more, okay? So I'm going to edit this and we'll jump into the dark zone, okay? Peace out. Okay, so let's talk about what this means. And while we're doing this, I'm just going to do an exotic run. We'll start on this end. This dark zone is popping, so we'll see how many exotics I actually get. But let's talk about this whole hunters versus rogue agents thing. Because we were given those comms with Aaron Keener months ago, right? Probably 2 months ago, where he was recruiting that rogue agent, and then he straight up said, like, your mission is Cal's Hunter. So go there, see what Cal's Hunter was going for, and what have you. So while Keener's rogue agent went to Silver Creek to investigate and, find the hunter, the rogue agent, she found a roster, right? A echo reconstruction with a roster. Now the roster were all these, here we go, hold up, piece of candy. Now the roster were all these shade agents but they had all been, you know, taken out. So I'm assuming that that's the Hunters roster, and then the Hunters roster were all these, you know, agents that had to be taken out. Because then the rogue agent, Hoskins, was telling Keener that she found that all of these agents died in different ways, and that a lot of it was linked to not only the green poison, but also a facility in DC. So it was linking the green poison, which is Division 1, New York City. It was linking DC, which is Division 2. And she was in Silver Creek, which was linking it to the Division Heartland. So all of this to show that we had Keener already knowing that Calvin McManus was already trying to send hunters to Silver Creek. Now, obviously, that whole Noble Squad little nod there from McManus, that is a direct reference to the first wave agents that were in Tom Clancy's The Division. Now, remember, in Tom Clancy's The Division, the first wave agents either died off or ended up going rogue. Now, the top rogue agent out of all of them, the most notorious, would be Aaron Keener. So it's a direct nod to Aaron Keener and Aaron Keener's rogues. And he, I guess, is recruiting some of these first wave rogue agents and turning them into hunters. And maybe that is how Keener already knew that these hunters were going to Silver Creek, and then he recruited his own division agent to go rogue and hunt down or find out whatever's going on with this hunter in Silver Creek. So we were starting to find out all of this lore attached to Heartland, which is very, I don't know, would you say depressing would be the word? It sucks because we know that this game has been canceled. So the first question would be, why would you keep this in the game? Like, obviously, we're seeing that they're doing, you know, these different, like, sporadic comms. So we're only getting, like, you know, little snippets of this whole, like, you know, redacted Heartland connection every few months. But still, why would you keep that in the game? Now, the first thought that comes into my head is they would keep it in the game because they want people to keep playing Descent, right? Because the only real reason people are playing Descent is because that's the only way to get access to the lore. It's the only way to stay up to date on the connections of the storyline and what to, you know, look forward to with this upcoming DLC, what's going on with Keener, what's going on with McManus, and everybody. So to stay up to date on what's actually going on with the franchise, you have to do these Descent comps. So right off the bat, that keeps people playing their new game mode, which was notoriously received with, let's just say, neutral to negative reviews. Descent as a whole, it is a unique experience, but the way that it was group scaled really makes it harder for people that play it in a group. Ooh, piece of candy. And the way that they made the whole Nemesis setup with the talent pools rotating and everything, it's just a deterrent for players. And of course, that's subject to my opinion, and that is just my opinion, but the numbers don't lie. Descent is probably one of the worst received game modes in the franchise, just as a whole. And it sucks because it is unique, and they did add all of this lore and storyline to it, but it's like you're forcing someone to play something they don't want just so that they can get some information on the hunters and Aaron Keener and the rogue agents. I don't know. It's kind of crappy. That and their reward system on Descent's horrible. Like, you can't even get the top reward unless you reach Loop 41. And Loop 41 would take at least 8 hours. And nobody I know has done that. Not one person I know. So, if you've done that, let me know in the comments. But That's why I just do the Nemesis run every week to get the Descent comms, and then that way we can have these discussions. But back to the Rogue versus Hunters. So that the way that they've been doing these Descent comms is they'll do them in groups. So it's usually groups of either 2 to 4. So this is our second Descent comm in a row with Calvin McManus talking about the Hunters and trying to get updates on Silver Creek. So we will either expect a different timeline next week or maybe one more from Calvin McManus about these Hunters. They have been very short comms, which is another like alarming thing. It's like, not only did you keep these redacted comms in here, I understand that you had to pay, you know, the voice actors and make the comms and everything. So yeah, why not keep it in there? Just put redacted. Who cares? But at the same time, some of these are like 20 seconds long. And it's like, dude, we're waiting a whole week. And then we have to go all the way through Descent, take out the Nemesis, and then we're getting like a little 20-second snippet. I don't know. I'm kind of salty. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. It is quite a bit to digest, but I'm trying to keep you up to date on everything happening story-wise in the Division 2. So if you have any questions about it, let me know. We can elaborate on it. And yeah, hopefully we get something cooler next week. But that's it for me. I'm Kamikaze Von Doom. I'm going to get some more exotics here in the Dark Zone. But take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your day. And man, I really am bummed out about Heartland. I wanted to play that so bad. Anyways, take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.